Crystal Richardson, and I'm going to be talking to you about the zero waste movement. In landfills today, 3.5 million tons of plastic is being wasted. That's 10 times the amount it was a century ago, according to the World News Bank Research Journal in 2016. In the United States alone, 250 million tons of waste is being sent into our landfills. That's roughly 4.4 pounds per person per day, according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency in 2013. Plastic can take up to 1,000 years to decompose. Plastic bags take 10 to 1,000 years, and plastic bottles can take up to 450 years or more to decompose. Here's an image of a landfill. You can see that there's plastic everywhere, and just one piece of plastic takes 1,000 years. And every day we're sending tons and tons of trash into these landfills, which is disturbing the natural decomposition of the waste that is already there. This is an image of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It is the largest of the 5 offshore waste accumulations that is zoned in the ocean. This specific one is located between Hawaii and California. In March of 2018, the Natural Research Journal did a sampling and discovered that 1.8 billion of trash were floating on this patch alone, with an estimate weight of 80,000 tons. When there's pollution in our ocean, it has a risk for both humans and marine life. This is because marine life will swim in the pollution with the toxins, and they'll accidentally eat the decomposing plastic, which will get into our ecosystem and into our food chains. One of the main things we can do to help limit the amount of waste going into our incinerators and our landfills is recycling. Because when we recycle, we're reducing the need to collect new materials, and we're conserving natural resources such as timber, water, and minerals. And that's according to the United States Environmental Protection Agency. We can also increase economic security by tapping into domestic resources. So what is zero waste? According to the Zero Waste International Association, zero waste is a goal that is ethical, economical, efficient, visionary. It's a guide to help people change their lifestyle and practice to emulate sustainability, natural cycles, where our discarded materials are designed to become resources for others to use. The big picture is that no trash is being sent to landfills. Right here you can see this is a mason jar, and the majority of people that follow the zero waste movement will have jars just like this, and this will be all of the waste that they collected in 1 year. And all of the discards inside are things that couldn't be composted, they couldn't be recycled, and they couldn't be repurposed. Which is exactly what zero waste is. It's redesigning the entire cycle of resources, the extraction, how we consume it, and ultimately how we discard them. Zero waste is not about radically trying to fix the environment. It's about making small changes in your everyday life to limit the amount of trash and plastic that we consume, we buy, and we put back into the environment. Making these little changes in our life will be better for our health and our environment. Some of the small changes that we can incorporate would be getting a reusable water bottle. When you have a reusable water bottle, you're saving 1,460 plastic bottles per year, according to Arcadic Powers in a 2017 news article. We can also replace plastic bags with reusable shopping bags. We can even get reusable straws now, because straws are one thing that's a one-use product only. And after we're done, it ends up in our landfills or worse, in our ocean. And when it lands in our ocean, it can have the potential threat of being lodged into a sea turtle's nasal passage, causing it to suffocate and die. Another big thing we can do is shop at bulk stores. Here in the Tampa Bay area, we have places like Whole Foods where they have a bulk section or Bulk Nation. And the purpose of these places is to bring your own containers, and then you can buy as much or as little as you want without having to buy the plastic that's surrounding the product that you want. Other small changes that you can incorporate are recycling and composting. Nobody is 100% zero waste. But in the waste that you do accumulate, you can try to recycle it. If it's not recyclable, maybe you can still compost it. Composting is the idea of getting organic materials and putting them back into the soil for them to put their nutrients back into the earth. A simple way to do this is getting a Tupperware and putting your eggshells, your potato peelings, your spoiled vegetables and fruit, and freezing it. And when you're ready to compost, take it out of your freezer and go in your backyard and just put dirt on top of it and start the decomposing process. And if you don't want to do that, there are also locations where you can bring your compost where they will discard it for you and start the process. And in exchange, you can already buy mineral-rich soil from previous compost. Some of the benefits that you get when you're zero waste is you're reducing greenhouse gases. This is because when you bring your waste to the landfill contaminates the soil, which will then emit greenhouse gases, and that contributes to global warming. Next, we can also help businesses and residents become more sustainable and efficient. This is all about supply and demand. As consumers, if we're demanding one-time use products such as plastic straws, plastic cutlery, that's what these big companies are going to deliver to us. But if we demand more sustainability products and we educate ourselves on how to be more efficient in this, that's what these companies will give us. And us as a society, we can then start to reduce the need of plastic. Next, we can promote local food cultivations and consumption, and this is by composting. Because when we compost, we're putting all of that nutrients back into the soil. So all of the plants that are being planted into this enriched soil will now have organic enrichment, and they'll be healthier for the consumers. Ultimately, when you develop a zero waste mentality, you're going to reduce the amount of traffic going back into your environment. And then if everybody just makes little changes and steps towards being zero waste, we as a society can limit the amount of waste going into our landfills